Welcome to 3 Minutes of Thursday, where we take about 3 minutes. Who are we kidding? We're in like 5, 6 already. So we're going to spend a few minutes. Cassidy's going to, talk to us about something that God has been speaking to her, something that's been on her heart and mind recently. So with the events going on. So Cassidy, take it away.
Yeah. So I've been doing like a little bit of discovery in the Bible, realizing things that I never like thought of or like noticed.
Yeah.
For example, this is a simple fact that some people might just know. I didn't realize that the 4 Gospels are like similar and like talk about a lot of the same stuff.
Sure.
I didn't know that. So
Sure,
like
yeah.
I would stories or like verses, and then it would be like the again and another one, and it would repeat, and I was like very confused. So I was realizing this today when I was like reading through for other reasons. So I had a verse, like a little section of stuff in Mark that I can't stop thinking about.
Yeah.
It's been one of the like something that I have gone back to over and over again, and it's the story of where Jesus calms the storm. So he's on a boat with some of the versions say apostles, some say disciples, but regardless, he's on a boat, and they're crossing to get to the other side of the water, and a really, really big storm comes. Like the waves start going crazy, the wind is blowing, kind of like how it was today. If you saw storms, it was like super, super crazy. But so a great storm comes, and the waves are like crashing onto the boat and everything else. It started filling up, and everyone was scared. Jesus was like just chilling, sleeping, taking a nap. Taking a nap. First of all, that's like a whole mood in itself. Like I love that.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing I can talk about.
That is some peace that I would like in my life.
So he's just chilling, taking a nap. It says he was in the stern, asleep on a cushion, and the people on the boat woke him up, and they said, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And he awoke, and he rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was great calm. And he said to them, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" And they were filled with great fear, and they said to one another, "Who is this that even the wind and the sea can obey him?" I can't stop going back to that, because I feel like right now the world feels like this big storm. It really feels like there's a whole bunch of destruction around us, and it kind of feels like God's just sleeping on us. I think that's something that a lot of people relate to. We're all wondering, where is he in all of this? And I just think it's funny that they woke him up, and they were like, in the Matthew, like if you go to Matthew and you look at this, they said to him, "Save us, Lord, because we are perishing." So like they went to him saying like, we are scared, you need to save us, why aren't you doing anything? And I think a lot of people are having that same thought right now. And all he does is he wakes up, he calms everything down, and he just says, "Why were you scared?"
Yeah.
Like, I was right here the whole time.
That's so good.
And I don't know, I think that's something I need to remind myself of a lot. Like, so frequently I need to remind myself that I don't have to worry, because like he's gonna do what he said he's gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm just reading this comment. But
hi, Tony.
Hi. Yes, I do go on Facebook Live every day. That's so funny. But yeah, I just find it super cool that it might feel like we're being like kind of slept on and not paid attention to.
Yeah.
And you might want to go to God and like shake him and be like, "Why aren't you doing anything?"
Right.
And it's easy in these times to like get angry at him, because it even says that they were filled with fear, and they said to each other, "Who is this that the wind and sea obey him?" Like they were like, "What is going on?" And then in my Bible, it has a little bit of like study stuff, and it kind of talks about how when they questioned who this is, the disciples they asked the right question, because it was confirmation that this man was truly God. And I really like the way that they worded that they said, "Who is this?" Because they were questioning it, because it was proof. It was like, like it was showing what he really does. So it's okay. Like, he's not sleeping on us.
Right.
You know, he's still right there. It might seem like he is, and you might want to go and yell at him and be like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, right.
But whenever he decides to wake up and step in, he's just going to be like, everything was fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. I like the idea that that he is as God during the storm as he is after he's calmed the storm. Like he is as in control as he will ever be. And no like storm or pandemic or situation can like challenge his authority. I think that's important for us to remember.
Yeah. And I want to say too that like this is just coming onto my heart now, but God is not too busy dealing with the world's problems that he won't pay attention to yours either.
That's great.
I don't know. I feel like there are probably some people who are like, I kind of felt this a little bit on my own. I was like, how can I be so worried about my own personal problems and more upset over that when the world is going through so much? I should be more concerned about that. And I felt really guilty. And then I had to step back and be like, no, you know, I'm allowed to deal with my own stuff too. And that's not insignificant to God. It's all still important. So
right.
If you're going through something on top of what's happening, God's not like prioritizing, oh,
sure,
this is more important. You know, you had a fight with your friend. Well,
right.
that's still just as important. You might think that in God's eyes that's not equal, but it is. Yes.
Right. There's enough God to go around. Like he's not like
yeah.
a shortage of only so many needs he can care about.
Right.
That's good.
Infinite. Like his thinking and his mind is so much higher than we can understand. So we might not be able to handle all those problems.
Sure.
But that's why we're not supposed to.
Yeah, we're really good at like imposing our human limits on him. And like saying like, well, I couldn't handle all that, but he's just different. That's just a different category. That's good.
It's true. So true.
Yeah, I love that. Just the idea that God he's very aware of the storm.
Yes.
But he's still in control of it, even while it's happening. He's in control. He may be taking a nap in the bow right now, but like he still cares about the storm, and he's still very, very much in control. Yeah. He's numbered the hairs on your head. That's a great reference.
Yeah. Yes. I think what's cool too is like he was there too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that they were crying out to God. And like physically he was there with them, but that's how it is now too.
Yeah.
Like he's there with you while you're going through the storm, even if you don't feel like it, you know.
Yes. Yes.
We talked about, I know you and I have talked about that many, many times. He's still good even when it doesn't feel like things are good.
Yeah. I love the idea. Like I'm thinking a lot about signs. Like Jesus does these miracles to point to him, like to point to himself, to point to his godhood. And I think that him being able to sleep through the storm is as much a sign as him calming the storm supernaturally. So like thinking about how like over and over he's like healing his friend Lazarus from the dead, he's healing blind people, he's feeding people, all of these things are signs, but his devotion to prayer is a sign. Like he says at one point, people were like questioning him, and he's like, you know what, I could die and come back to life and you wouldn't believe me. And then he did that. And he didn't.
Reading that today. That is so funny that you said that, because I did the Ignite group tonight, and we talked about that and how every one of the Gospels, when they went to check the tomb and he was not there, and the angel said to the people that were checking it, like, don't be afraid, don't worry, you know, he's not here because he's risen. And at first they were like, he's what? He's gone? And
that thing he's been telling you he was going to do, he did it.
Right. And I just started laughing, like, when I was reading this, because in the one part, it literally says that after they were reminded, they remembered his words.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's me all the time.
That's so good.
All the time. Because so many times God has promised me something. Or like, even as far as like worthiness, like he promises you that you're loved and you're worthy. But I still will go and I'll think that I'm not. But like God's going to come back and be like, no, you are.
Right. We need a reminder. Like,
Oh, yeah.
reminders are so biblical. Like, so they like, I think they crossed the Jordan River. This is the second time the Israelites like passed through a body of water. Insane. And God says, take 12 people, one from each tribe, and grab rocks out of the bed of the river and put them on the shore. And they're going to be like different rocks. They're clearly coming from under the water where people shouldn't be able to get them. So your kids are going to see those weird rocks and be like, hey, where'd these weird rocks come from? And you're going to be able to remind them and remind yourselves and teach them that, you know, there's a miracle working God. So I love that passage because it always reminds me that I need reminders, and that God is okay with us needing reminders. And he is like weaving reminders into our lives, and the need to be reminded is not a bad thing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was feeling too, because I was like, okay, even the people that were closest to him would still question and get scared and had human feelings.
Yeah, that's so good.
It's okay to need that reminder, but I think it's like when you get that reminder, you got to take it and believe it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. I see a bunch of people active there in the comments. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I love that. Calista said something really cool. She said, this pandemic is giving everyone such a great opportunity to focus on God. We also don't have crazy regular life distracting and stopping us from trusting in him. And I think that's super true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super good. I've been talking about that a lot with people, to take this not as a bad thing, but to take it as an opportunity.
Opportunity. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on 3-ish minutes of Thursday.
I can't stick to 3 minutes. You can't.
Yeah. As long as there's people watching, I feel like we're not wasting anybody's time. They're choosing to end. So
that's why we have the ish on the end. We try our best, but
that's right. When
we have talkative people, it doesn't work that way. Listen, we're just passionate, okay?
This is great, Cassidy. Thank you. You brought some great things. Great conversation. I loved having you.
Yeah, this was super fun.
Good. All right. Thanks, guys, for coming. What's tomorrow?
Bye,
Tomorrow's Friend Lunch Friday. We'll see you at noon tomorrow on Zoom for Friend Lunch Friday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.